your why versus why not. Hey guys, this is going to be more of a motivational, more of a motivational video. And like I say, I understand, man. I understand where a lot of you guys. I get these emails, I get text messages, I get phone calls, and first and foremost, I want to thank you guys that congratulated me early on. I got a flood of emails. I didn't get a chance to personally read them, but from what I hear, they were very inspirational emails. I want to thank you guys for emailing me uh, about my deal with the $5 ride. Um, we have been acquired in that regard, sold my transportation service to a bigger transportation company. And so I do want to thank you guys for those emails. Okay, I greatly appreciate those. But in this particular video, man, let's talk about your why versus your why not. Okay. Um, Here's the thing. The reason I think motivation is so uh, detrimental, so important to your business is the fact that without it, we seem not to be able to get anything done. There has to be some level of motivation, your why. Why do you get up and do the things that you do, whether it's positive or whether it's negative, right? Why do you decide one day that you're going to knock doors, one day that you're going to make phone calls versus you're not doing it? You're not going to make those phone calls. You're not going door to door. Why? That's we once you get to your why, then I think the floodgates open, in tenfold. I think a lot open up once you understand your why, if that makes sense, guys. Here's the thing. I'm starting to think that people don't so much fear failure as much as they fear success. I think a lot of times what happens is, and when I think back and look at myself in retrospect, I think like sometimes there was times that I thought like, could I actually get this done? Right? Is success for me? Right? Do I have it in me to be successful? And come to find out, man, I truly felt like I had it in me. I truly felt like I had it in me. But the thing was, is that because it was taking so long for success to come my way, I was believing that success wasn't for me. And I think that's what a lot of you guys are going through to this day. 1 second. 1 second, guys. One second, 1 second. One second, guys. Bear with me. Okay. So I think that's what a lot of you guys have going on. You got to identify your why. You got to identify why you do the things you do versus why you don't do the things you probably should do. Okay. Um, I don't think it's, I don't believe it's fear of failure anymore. I think it's fear of success, right? I think that a lot of people don't think that success is for them because they haven't had any level of success, right? And what happens is we put a lot of false narratives around us. We make excuses for why we don't do the things that we probably should be doing, right? And it's not that you can't do it, it's that you can't visualize yourself in doing it. You can't visualize yourself in the success. And I think once you're able to visualize yourselves being successful, then I think you're on your way to having some level of success. Okay. Now, a lot of people think of overnight success. People think they do it today and then it's going to come tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen that way. Like when Michael Jordan was becoming the best basketball player ever, Mike knew that it took some time, right? It took some time. He didn't get that way overnight, right? And I can give you 101, scenarios of the sort. But the thing is nothing happens overnight, guys. You got to be willing to put your foot in and keep it in, right? Even against the tides, even against where, everything is looking cloudy, everything is kind of rainy, everything is seem like it's overwhelming. You got to keep your feet in there, right? Because if you pull out, that's a step away from you becoming successful. Once you pull your feet out, you're stepping away from becoming successful. Okay. Here's the thing: who you associate yourself with, a lot of times, ultimately play a huge part in your success. Okay, and I tell people this all the time. I'm on Facebook when I'm doing my motivational videos on Facebook and things like that, and my lives and things like that. I get people to join into my lives, and they listen to me. And a lot of times, what I find people doing is trying to make excuses for why other people say that they won't be able to be successful, right? So it's kind of like you saying, well, Fabio, you can't do this. And then I try to justify and make a reason why you said what you said, right? When ultimately, probably what I should be doing is distancing myself from you guys, right? So that's what you have to, and that's the biggest thing. See, people are scared to be alone. I did the video the other day when I was at the library. I was kind of, reminiscing that video, if you guys seen that video. And I mentioned in that video that I was alone when I started my cleaning business, right? Everybody would not see your vision. Everybody would not believe in your dream. I'm sorry, it just happens that way, guys. A lot of you guys are scared to take risks, scared to invest in yourself, scared to invest in your business. A lot of you get X amount of dollars, right, from work, and you're kind of conflicted as to if you should do one thing versus do something that can be cool, something that can be fun, right? So really, at that point, what happens, it's a matter of where you're going to get the most sensation from. So generally, when you should be putting money into the business, a lot of times you're putting money into other things that seems a little bit more fun or seem a little bit more cooler, something that's more sensational to you, I guess, at the time. And what happens is each dollar you put elsewhere instead of putting it into your business, the longer it's going to take your business to grow, the longer it's going to take your business to get off the ground. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, like, I wish I could tell you guys that it was a magic potion for me, a magic formula for me. It was not. Like, the reason I'm able to do, my cleaning business and do, a transportation business is because I believed in myself wholeheartedly. I started with one endeavor, made that successful, took money from that endeavor, and branched out into something else. Which is why I tell a lot of people that want to get into different niche markets in the cleaning industry, I tell them, you can do it, just don't try to do it all at one time. Start with a specific niche, stick to it, make it successful, and then branch out, right? You can go into something else, okay? But the thing is that if you don't do just the basic for the first market that you want to go into, you don't do anything for the first niche market you want to go into, you're never going to be successful. It's not going to happen for you, okay? A lot of you guys, like I say, I was on a couple coaching calls today. And my coaching calls, I love my coaching calls because it's far beyond what you guys can imagine. It's not just me kind of giving you my blueprint on how to start a cleaning business and me asking your questions or answering your questions. It's far beyond that. It's a bunch of motivational stuff. I want to touch you guys deep. I want to cut deep. I want to know why you do the things you do, right? I want to know how I could be of assistance to you in helping you grow your cleaning business or whatever business. See, when you know business from the inside out, guys, like no one can take that away from you, right? So it's a lot of people that I talk to that don't even have no aspirations to be a commercial cleaner, right, or a residential cleaner. Hey, what's up, Leon? A lot of people that I talk to, they just know they want to have a business, whether it's an online business, whether it's an offline business. But once again, most of the people that I speak to think that they need a lot of money to make a lot of money. Okay? It's not always the case. It's not always the case. You guys have to be creative. Like a lot of times people, they say, well, Fabio, I don't have the money to start this venture. I don't have the money to start that venture. You have to be creative. I tell people all the time, where there is no money, there must be time. Where there is no money, there must be time. You're either going to have money and probably a shortness of time, or you're going to have more time and a shortness of money. It's very rare, unless you got money already, it's very rare that you got both, the money and the time. But when you first started out, like with me, when I first started out, I understood that I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of money, right? And the cool thing about the cleaning business is you don't need a lot of money. You really don't. When you think of everything that you got to buy up front in the cleaning business, you don't have to buy this huge equipment. I don't give a fuck what somebody done told you on another channel. You don't have to buy all of this huge equipment in the very beginning, because here it is. You have all of this equipment, right? And you don't have any accounts. You got the specialty equipment. You got the carpet cleaners. You got the buffers. You got the stripper wax machines. You got all of these different machines, and you don't have any contracts, right? So a lot of people, I talk to so many people, they say, well, Fabio, man, my biggest holdup right now, man, is I'm trying to get this buffer. I'm trying to get this stripper wax machine. Unless that's the target market that you're trying to target, you don't need that in the very, very beginning. Unless you specifically want to do carpet cleaning or floor care, or you're going into a specific niche market, you don't need those machines in the beginning. Here's the thing. Listen to me, guys, because I'm going to make this make sense to you. The cleaning business as a whole is like a $55 billion industry, right? Listen to me now. The cleaning business as a whole is like a $55 billion a year industry. When you start your cleaning business, the reason I tell people, like people that go into these niche markets, like those particular, like carpet cleaning, floor care, these different niche markets, it won't be reoccurring revenue in that, guys. That's a specialty service, of what I consider to be a specialty service. Which means what happens is you're going to market that service to an individual. Yes, you may get repeat business, but people will get their carpet cleaned about how many times a year? Once, maybe twice, right? If, between seasons, that type of thing. Residential and commercial cleaning is an ongoing, reoccurring service. As long as you continue to do a great job, they're going to continue to cut the check. Okay? So you market to this individual or to this company one time, or however many times you market or you solicit them, you get in the door, and now you have an agreement with them, or many will call it a contract with them, right? So you have this contract, you have this agreement with them that's going to be ongoing per you're doing a great job. You do a bad job, they let you go, they get a new company, right? And this is residential or commercial. This is residential or commercial. Okay? I'm kind of flip-flopping here. This is more of a motivational thing, but I want you guys to get to see the big picture. Okay? I would say for those individuals that want to go into carpet cleaning or want to go into floor care, different niche markets. Try to do something where you're going to be able to get some reoccurring revenue. Okay. So you do something once and you continue to get paid for it, month after month, year after year. Okay. Like all these contracts, this contract I'm at now, my other contracts, all these contracts that I have, right? I did something a few times, got their attention, got in the door, and I'm continuously getting paid on that month after month, week after week, in many cases, right? Because I got a lot of bi-weekly clients now. And everything runs like clockwork. Okay. The bulk of everything, to be honest, is the training of the employees. That's what's going to keep the ship going, right? So you get in the door, you get set up, you negotiate your numbers, got all of that stuff together, you got them on an agreement. Then what, right? So you have to be able to keep the ship running. You have to be able to keep the ship going, and that comes with training, hiring great people, right? Being a good judge of character a lot of times, and you can kind of pick that up in interviews, right? I talked a lot about that on many other videos. If you can run a great ship, you can keep a great team together, there's no way or no reason why you shouldn't be able to be successful, right? With the commercial cleaning or residential cleaning. Okay. Now, I know it's hard to delegate out because in the beginning, I was in a lot of you guys' shoes. Like, I picked this contract up. I didn't want to lose it as quickly as I got it. So I was a little bit like, I don't know if I should hire somebody for this. And that's what a lot of you guys are going through. But you're not going to grow to the level that you will want to grow if you don't learn to delegate out, right? You have to be able to delegate these services out, right? That way it frees up time for you to do more marketing, for you to do other things business related, and to build your business, to continue your business to grow. But like I say early on at the top of this video, a lot of people don't even get that far because they're afraid of success. They don't believe success is for them. Like I say, I want to say people are afraid of the unknown, which I think, to in many regards, people are. I want to say people are scared of failure. They're afraid of failure. The same. But I think people are more afraid of being successful than ever before. They feel like it's not for them. I don't know why we associate ourselves. We allow other people to talk us out of our dream. If your dream was to own a commercial cleaning company, like so many of you tell me, right? I get on these coaching calls, I get on get them in the email and talk to people. And even on my Facebook, I'm on live and they join in on my live and I get to talking to them. They say, man, I'm glad you're doing good in the commercial cleaning. Man, it's always been my dream to do a commercial cleaning business. I say, well, what's stopping you? Man, to be honest, man. And then they give me a lot of different excuses. Well, my wife, she not in on it, man. She really, what I'm saying, I would love to have it as a family thing, man. See, that's what's holding me up, man. My wife, man. It's just, especially because it's my wife, I would think that she would be, a helping hand, or she would be motivating. And again, guys, a lot of times people do not see your dream until it becomes a reality. It's quite unfortunate, but a lot of times people do not believe in you like you believe in you, right? So it almost come down to a sense where you have to force people to see things your way, and the only way you can force people to see things your way is by results. That's the only way. That's the only way, because people, especially people close to us, they program that it's not for you, it won't work for you, it never happened before you, no one else in the family did it, right? You never amounted to anything before, right? You was a college football player, high school football player. Why you didn't go pro, right? You was a high school baseball player. Yeah, I went to high school with you. Yeah, you was my first love in high school, but why didn't you go pro, right? So people have these belief systems in their head that you never amounted to anything back in the day. So what make you think you can do something now? And you have to get away from those people. And these are the people that we love the most. These are the people that we die behind. Somebody calls us, somebody say, hey, Somebody threatened to do this, we pull up on them. But these are ultimately the people that don't have the faith in us that, to kind of help us get over the hump, so to speak. Which is why when I started my commercial cleaning business, it was just me and a vision. It was just me and a vision. I was down bad, really, really down bad, right? I had limited funds, but I had a great deal of time. So I put in the sweat equity, and it's paying me off dividends today, right? The work that I did back then, the sweat equity that I put in back then, is paying me off today. Okay? So if you guys want to get over the hump, you got to get away from those naysayers. You got to get away from those people who don't believe in you, right? Because ultimately, their negative energy is going to interrupt what you feel that you can do, right? Their negative energy. If they say, man, you ain't going to be able to do it. And if you hang around them long enough, guess what? You won't do it. So what's your why versus your why not? What is your why versus your why not? Why do you do the things you do versus why not? Why do you do the things that you do? Let's see. If you guys just joining me, go ahead and get those likes up. Okay. Go ahead and get those likes up. We got a few people on here. We need to get those likes up. Okay. Another thing you guys got to do better, because it's a lot of people that say, hey, Fabio, do you have any mentoring or do you have any coaching? Hey, Jessica, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Fabio, do you have any coaching? Fabio, do you have any ongoing like courses or anything? Very good, Jess. Very good. I'm glad to hear you're doing okay. You're growing. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I remember Jessica. It's been a while. Whatever. Jessica, I remember when she was down bad, when everything wasn't going her way, right? She was struggling like hell, right? And then through the course of watching my videos and growing and just kind of having like no way of doing anything. I think she was on the bus if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, I remember you, Jess. And now Jess is kind of growing her way out and moving at her own speed. Again, guys, like I say, sweat equity. Sweat equity. Okay? Don't worry about what you don't have. Worry about what you do have. And work with what you do have. What you don't have will eventually come. Okay? So, are you going to share the revenue of your $5 ride business and how much you sold it for? No, I'm not going to put that out. Maybe later, but right now it's on the paper. Everything is signed, sealed, and delivered in that regards. We're waiting on the check now. It's on its way. But maybe sometime in the future, I'll talk more about that. What I will say is people been trying to get me to sell it for the longest. And I was like, no, I want to build it stronger. I want to build it up more. And I guess the right deal came along. It got to a point where people kept upping the money, and I feel like, no, I can do that. If I have another 3 years on this deal, that I will be able to do that and more. And then I got an offer that I'm like, okay, I think right now is the time to let that go, right? Because it's crazy, because I built it through just word of mouth on Facebook. I really didn't have an advertising budget for it, right? I started it on Facebook. It built through Facebook like wildfire. I had like little flyer and postcards, right? I had people passing them out from the bus terminal and different things like that for people that want an alternative way to commute within the city and outside of the city. The cool thing about it, I went into Canada. We did drop off into Canada. So a lot of people don't cross the border. So I had an advantage there. We had so many people that would go across and leave Detroit and go over to Canada to like gamble or party, whatever the case is. And we actually went into Canada. Like we actually did drop off into Canada. So I mean, I was just really killing the game on the transportation. Again, what I did was took the weakness of Uber and Lyft. And the only way, because I never rode in Uber or Lyft, like I never booked them for any rides or anything. So the only way that I can kind of get a little intel was based on their subscribers. The only way I could get a little intel was based on their subscribers. So once they book with the $5 ride, once they book with me, and, they get to talking to my people and my drivers and in many cases myself. For the longest, I was doing the driving too. I was helping my drivers, but then people recognized me from Facebook and from YouTube and this and this and that. So I didn't really want to be the driver, but initially I had to. Again, that's part of the business, right? You got to be the employee in the beginning. You got to get things started. So I kind of got things started, got to hiring, right? Did vicious background checks on my drivers and making sure they went on the pedophilia list and they didn't have these different backgrounds, robbing and jacking and kidnapping and all of that, right? So everything was extensive with me, and it worked out pretty good. Let me see. Well, good. Yeah, white tea famous. Oh yeah, yeah. I wish. But yeah, it worked out pretty good. We sold it to another transportation company. So I'm just waiting for the check transition right now. But like I said, guys, whether it's a transportation service, a cleaning business, whatever service, like I got a friend, he started a security. When you upload that video today, you remind me of my bigger goal. Yeah, yeah, man, I was really really excited and still am. But my excitement only lasts so long, and then I'm kind of on to the next thing. I know we're probably gonna have the check by the end of the week, right? We did the paperwork, everything gets finalized there. My lawyer took a look at everything. We kind of bounced some few things back. It was a bit of a negotiation, but it worked out. Yeah, thank you, Jess. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. So, a lot of people, I put a post on the Facebook and everybody's like, why did you sell? Because I had everything, like I say, everything was run tightly, like a tight ship. We had uh, lawyer subscribers to my service, to the $5 ride service. We had weekly subscribers where they paid weekly. Everything is like prepaid. Oh man, it was phenomenal, right? And I was making a killing. Like in a very short, I haven't had a $5 ride company that long, and I built it up so quickly, so fast through the base of word of mouth. So, but yeah, to like I say, man, to hop back on topic, guys, I want to get you guys motivated for your cleaning business or whatever business. I like to talk about business as a whole, guys. I don't really necessarily want to make this video specifically about cleaning business. It's just that's the main theme on this channel. But I talk to people all the time. They want to, ladies, I got a lot of girls on my Facebook page. They want to do hair and this type of thing. They advertise in these groups, and I give them great ideas on, well, won't you try this? Won't you try that? Won't you do this? Won't you do that? This will separate you from the rest of the pack. Other girls isn't doing this, right? And it's just so many different things. Like if you do something different, you pick maybe a lot of other girls' weaknesses, and turn that to your positive, make it work for you. You can make a lot of money on that deal. That's exactly what I did with the transportation business. The complaints that was coming in from Uber and Lyft and these type of people, right? I took their weaknesses. I studied it. I took their weaknesses and made it an advantage for me, right? And I built my business up on that level. I built up on that, right? And then, whoa, kept getting a lot of offers. People want, you want to sell, you want to sell, that type of thing. I'm growing. I'm like, no, I could do this, make this thing bigger. And then somebody come with the bigger bag. They come with the bigger check, right? So, and you, again, guys, like I said on the earlier video, you got to know when to hold and when to fold, right? You got to know when it's a good time to sell, right? You got to have a mind like, can you see yourself building this thing up beyond your wildest imagination? Like Google. Google was approached so many times. Facebook. Facebook was approached by Google. Google wanted to buy Facebook. And luckily for Mark Zuckerberg, he never sold it to Google because he built it up probably beyond his wildest imagination. I mean, he really built it up, really, really huge. Facebook is huge, right? So, I mean, the thing that separate Mark Zuckerberg from, like, let's say me and the $5 ride is that I didn't see a long vision for it, right? Or I wouldn't have sold, right? The check came through, the numbers was right. I'm like, okay, cool. I can let this go. Let somebody else take this, and maybe they can do something bigger with it, right? So Mark Zuckerberg, that was his little baby, built that little Facebook thing from birth, right? And now it's this big platform, and he's doing multiple things with Facebook. Facebook is just more than a social media company, right? It's a media outlet, right? So, but yeah, guys, like I say, you guys got to be more risk takers. That's the only thing that I dislike about a lot of my subscribers. I know a lot of you guys are bright. I've spoke to many of you on the phone. Many of you have bought, things from me, whether it's paperwork or whatever the case is, coaching, this and this and that. The only thing I dislike is that a lot of you guys would invest, but you don't do anything with the knowledge, right? You don't do anything with what I coached you on, right? And it's sad and it's terrible because I understand where you guys at. I understand the position, right? Because I was there. I understand where your money is so limited, and you're not sure if you should do A or if you should do B, right? So if you don't have the faith in yourself, no one is generally going to have the faith in you, right? It's got to start with it's got to start with you, right? And you have to really make others believe in you. And I'm not talking about verbally. I'm talking about physically. You have to really build traction to make others believe in you. Like I said earlier, people would not believe in your dream until it become a reality. People would not believe in your dream until it become a reality. Scare money don't make money. Yeah, that's right, Jessica. People are so scared to, but they, and the funny thing is people depart from their money for all the wrong reasons. Liquor, beer, wine, cigarettes, blunts, clothes, Jordans, rental cars to impress a woman, to impress a guy, hair, boob job, ass job, haircuts, this, that, contacts in the eye. Like, and I tell people all the time, like, they got these weaves, these wig girls, people selling. I tell people the new dope game is the hair game. The new dope game is the hair game. I tell people that all the time because everywhere on Facebook, a girl is selling hair, right? They even got guys doing it now. Guys and tapped into the hair market, flipping hair in bundles and different things like that. So I tell people, like, the new dope game is the hair game, right? People slanging hair, right? And so, like I say, man, I'm not against people getting their money or getting to the end result. At the end of the day, I'm not against that. But the thing is that you have to be different. If everybody around you selling hair, then what sets you apart, right? What sets you apart? Why do I get franchises call me? master franchises. I'm talking about offices, like local master franchise offices in my area. Why do they call me? Why do they reach out to me? Why do I get people to ask me if I want to sell contracts and sell accounts and things like that? Right? Because I'm building up in my area. I'm not worried about what the competition doing. I'm keeping my head on a swivel. I'm walking light. I'm paying attention to the end result. Okay, I invest, and I don't just throw a lot of money in, one pot or just throw, I'm conscious as to what I'm doing money wise, because I never like the feeling of wasted money. I'm sure you guys can relate, right? You never like the feeling of you're wasting money. But if you don't put that money out there, you don't know what it's going to germinate. You don't know what it's going to do for you. Okay. And I tell people all the time, like, I be on live and we talk about relationships. I talk about some everything, right? So people be like, oh, I want to meet this guy, but I don't want to let my guard down. I say, well, if you don't let your guard down, you're not gonna know if this relationship, you gotta let your guard down. You gotta give a little bit, right? Because if you keep that wall up, then you're not letting this person in, then this person's not gonna really get to know you. You're not going to really get to know that person because you got a wall up. So you got to let your guard down. That's just a risk that you have to take. And you're going to continue to take that risk for the rest of your entire life. If it work out with this relationship, it work out. If it doesn't, then you're going to keep moving on, right? Till you find the best match for you, the best mate for you. Whether you're a girl looking for a guy, guy looking for a girl, guy looking for a guy, girl looking for a girl, whatever the case is, right? You have to drop that wall a little bit. Now, no one says you have to completely let somebody in, but if you keep a shield up, you're not allowing anybody to come in, and you're not allowing yourself to come out, right? Because you got that shield up. You're standing behind that shield. So you have to let your guard down a little bit. No one likes to be hurt. I get that, right? So we talk, like I say, I talk about some of everything on my Facebook business, and people ask me about relationships and this and this and that. Right? We all need to protect ourselves and want to protect ourselves. But again, if you're not willing to let a little out, you're not going to get nothing coming in. Right? So that's just the way it works. I tell people all the time, people, they go to the casinos and things like that. I kind of give them a hand clap for taking the initiative to even go, right? Because if they didn't go to play some money to see if they can win some money, and they stayed at home just thinking about, well, maybe I can win some money, maybe they would have won, maybe they would have lost. But they'll never know, because they never even took the initiative to go down and even play the slot machine or whatever the case is, right? And that's just how, again, guys, I could give you a gazillion stories like that. That's just how it goes. Come on, guys, get these likes up now. What are we doing here? Get these likes up. Okay, I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get some motivation running in your blood, right? I'm trying to give it to you from a different angle. Again, guys, it starts with you. What's your why? What's your why? Why are you scared to depart from those individuals who don't believe in you? See, in my circle, in my world, people call me stuck up, right? But that's what you call when you separate yourself from the negativity. I get sneak dissed all the time, right? But I don't pay it no mind. I don't pay it no mind because I'm going a different path, right? I'm on a different wavelength, right? These individuals down here and I'm up here, right? These individuals waiting for a W-2 and I'm, getting back a tax credit, right? I'm writing things off, right? They're getting back a portion of what they loaned the government. Meanwhile, I'm writing things off, right? That's another thing. People get their taxes. I had to put a couple statuses up on Facebook. What are you going to do with your tax refund? And sure enough, as promised, people go on live and I'm like, fucking idiot. Watch how quick this money go. A few of my friends, I jumped in their inbox and say, hey, man, I don't want anything from you, right? I say, but look, whatever you got, You should look to triple that or at least double that at the very least. You know, yeah, I am, man. I got to get a few things going. And before I know it, the money gone. The money gone. I put a status up on Facebook for all of those who owe me money and don't pay me money. When that money is gone, don't ask me for a loan. And sure enough, you would have thought people would have saved money, right? Sure enough, people come and ask me for a loan. I can't make this up. It's crazy. But like I say, guys, you have to be able to take a risk, right? You have to be able to, you got to find your why. You got to find your why. You got to get away from the naysayers. You got to get why what people said that won't happen for you anyway. It won't happen for you because of this. It won't happen. Can't nobody tell you about you. Can't nobody tell you what your capabilities are. Okay? And if they tell you and you don't complete the task, that's because you listened. So their word was more powerful than your own belief. Their word about your success is more powerful than your own belief. Okay? You have to have a strong belief system, guys. You have to have a strong belief system. And I'm not just trying to give you guys a bunch of motivational rah-rah, because I'm sure you've heard this before. But like I say, it's paramount that you do this. It's paramount that you do this. So many people say, Fabio, I'm not getting any contracts, man. It's just rough. It's just, you got to think outside of the box, my friend. You got to come with a different angle. You know, I get on the coaching calls with people all the time. They, sign up for my coaching. They get the coaching. And I get to asking them questions and certain things. And they just do the same thing. They don't try anything different. You might have an idea that I've never even talked about on video. But because I never talked about it, don't mean that it won't be a blessing for you ultimately if you tried it. Right? You might have an idea that I never even thought about and I never even talked about. But give it a shot, because that one idea, guys, that one little idea that I never talked about, that you was thinking about, might be the ultimate idea that separates you from the rest of the pack in your area. Separate you from the franchise, separate you from the other independent operators. That one little idea. Okay? So again, you got to be able to take a risk. You got to be able to want to do something different. You got to be able to want to do something different. Okay? Do you guys have any questions? Anybody on here? You got any questions? That's yeah, that's right, Jessica. Like I say, Jessica, it's a lot of individuals that I could bring up on my channel that, started like from nothing, like Jessica. I think she was on the bus for the longest, right? I remember when we used to kind of go back and forth. She'd say, hey, Fabio, I can't get any contracts, and I don't have a car. I'm on the bus. And I say, Jessica, I don't remember exactly what I told her at the time, but I'm like, Jessica, no one knows you're on the bus but you, right? You just remain a professional. You go in, you have that look, you have that presentation. No one knows that you got off a block before you were supposed to get off and you had to walk down and this, that, and the third, right? But she rode that bus until the wheels fall off, and now she's in a better position. She'll tell you. I don't have to tell you, right? She'll tell you. And then I got a lot of other stories like hers. So don't tell me, Moses, I don't have a car. Don't tell me you can't do this business because you don't have a car. Don't tell me you can't do this business because don't nobody believe in you. Believe in yourself. She said, got a car now and a few ladies now. Working with her, working for her. I swear to God, guys, can't make this up. Website, she said her website is up. But she didn't have none of that, guys, just at least 3 years ago. Maybe a little longer. She didn't have none of that, guys. And I like stories. I like stories like hers, right? Because again, and the cool thing about it, she didn't join none of my programs, right? She did it on her own. She got it out the mud. Now, I'm not saying that I couldn't have been, any assistance to her, but she's just a case study that watched my videos, that listened to what I said, and that believed in herself long enough and strong enough to be able to make shit happen. She made work. She didn't make excuses. She made work. She didn't make excuses. I remember that. I remember that just like it was yesterday. She had asked the question right on the live. What are you to do if you don't have a car and you want to start your cleaning business? How would you do it? I told her, ride the bus. Ride the bus and stay at it. Keep going. No one knew she was on the bus but her. Because when those checks started coming in, yes, indeed, she could catch the bus there, pick up her check, save her checks, get what she, because in this business, you got a low overhead. You have a very low overhead in this business. And like she said, now she have a few ladies working for her. Now she have a car, and she started on the bus. It was a few times she wanted to tap out. It wasn't working for her, and I told her, I said, Jessica, stay at it. Stay at it, hon. Don't give up on yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You can do it. Stay at it. And she did it. Like I say, I got a gazillion and one stories just like this. It's just I remember her because she has a unique name. I remember her name and remember her position, way back when. And now she's slowly growing and she's doing her thing. And you guys can be the next Jessica. You're welcome, Jessica. No, thank you. I'm glad you believed in me. I'm glad you watched my videos long enough to stay in the game. I'm glad you didn't give up on yourself. I'm glad you didn't give up on yourself. And there's a lot of other people that's like you, Jessica. I had people, hitting me up. They was in the shelter. Fabio, I'm in the shelter. This and this and this, man. This and this and that. I gave them motivation. Hey, continue to watch the videos. Continue to do what I say on the videos. Trust me, if you stay in the game long enough, you'll be able to make it work. And they made it work. So don't tell me that, you can't do this because you're too old. You can't do this because I have a lady on here that's confined to a wheelchair. You probably heard me talk about her story. I have a guy on here from Honduras. I spoke to him. He joined my lead generation. Now he's up. He's up in revenue. I didn't understand anything he was saying over the phone. But I did understand that he said he was up $6,000 off of just watching my videos before he even ordered anything from me, before he even invested in me. He was already $6,000 up in revenue, just watching my videos, taking notes and doing what I say on the videos. But again, he had a why. He believed in himself. I didn't even understand his English was broken, but, I understood enough. But he believed in himself. Again, you guys have to get out of the excuse. Hey, RM, how are you? You guys have to get out of the excuse game. No one loves you. No one do this. Everybody's going to love you when the money get to hitting. You're going to be everybody's cousin. Yeah, that's my cousin right there. That's my brother right there. That's my sis right there. You're going to be everybody's favorite. You're going to be people lawyer. You're going to be people doctor, people accountant, people everything. Everybody coming to me for everything. Like I got all of the answers. And that's just because I have a business, a profitable business. So again, you guys have to stay in the game long enough. You have to stay in the game long enough. When you give up, on yourself, you're not only just giving up on yourself, you're giving up on those that you do love, your children. You know, you might be helping your grandma, your grandpa out, right? They need you. But if you give up on yourself, then essentially you're giving up on everybody else that you love, that you do want around you. Okay, guys? So I need you guys to take a risk. A lot of people say, Fabio, I can't find a mentor. Find it in a book. I still watch, motivational videos and things like that on YouTube. Where do I get the motivation from? Well, I'm already successful doing my thing, and I'm steady growing. I'm steady learning. I don't know everything there is to know. Right? I pick up a few nuggets here and there. But I apply pressure. I like to operate unconventionally, because when you do things conventionally, you get conventional pay. You do things the way everybody else doing it, you get the same type of pay everybody else get. You do things a little unconventionally, you mix things up, you become a daredevil, so to speak, right? You try different things, then you get a different result. You get a different result. But again, you guys are scared to take risks. You're scared to take risks mentally. You're scared to take risks with your finances, with your money. If you don't have money, then you have to have the time. If you don't have the time, then you must have some money. Because you're going to have to pay somebody to do what you don't have time to do. Or if you don't have the money, then you have to do it. You have to get out there and knock doors. You have to make the phone calls. You have to send out the mailers. Right? It's either or. If you have the time, then you probably don't have enough money. Or if you have the money and you don't have the time, then you're going to have one or the other, guys. Residential for a week or so. Commercial took longer. Yeah, people ask me all the time. Jessica, people ask me Fabio, if you had to do it all over again, how would you do it? I tell people off the rip, I would probably do residential first. Because residential, you can get revenue quickly. The only difference between residential and commercial for me is it seemed to be commercial is a little bit more of a promising income. Residential is fast money. You can get it quickly. So people ask me all the time, Fabio, if you had to do, well, money was a factor for me back in 2012. Money was a factor for me back in 2012, but I hated the fact that I had to wait that net 30. See, after cleaning, you can get paid after the cleaning. Can you talk about how to get hotel contracts? I have to be honest with you. I don't specialize in that. I would probably have to talk to Darnella. Believe it or not, this one of my subscribers here. She's doing a beautiful job. She have hotels in Chicago. But I would probably have to talk to Darnella. But I would probably take the same approach as I would any other contract. But I don't know. I can't say that I know specifically because I don't have any hotels. So I'm not going to lie to you. She has big chain hotels. Again, she's another one, right? She's another one. She went through all of my little different programs. She was the one from Chicago. Yep, Darnella. Yeah, she live in Miami now, Dade County. 305. She live in Miami now, but she has residuals, ongoing business right now in Chicago and surrounding areas. Can you get her on the video with you? I asked her, actually, Darnella is relatively shy. I asked her to do videos quite a few times. She don't want to do videos, but I talk to her ever so often. I talk to her. We kind of keep in touch. How is business? How's everything going? And I never really asked her, hey, how did you really go after those? Miami is going underwater. Oh, Miami is going underwater? Oh, I'm not aware. But hey, well, I guess she going underwater with them because the last time I talked to her, she was doing pretty good in Miami. So I like REM idea. Yeah, yeah. Um, but like I said, uh, she's doing big things in that space, hotels and different things like that. Me, I don't have any hotels, so I can't even say. But I would probably approach it the same way as I would any other business. You probably have to, when you go to these big chains, you'll probably be looking at a corporate from a corporate stand. But yeah, but like I said, guys, man, whether you want to do big business or whether you just want to do small, medium-sized accounts, start somewhere. Get out there and start, guys. Get out there and start. Okay. Stop making excuses. Stop holding on to your dollar, doing stupid shit, excuse my French, with it. Invest in self-development, right? Invest in courses or classes or mentorship or different things like that that will be able to help you guys with your commercial or your residential cleaning business. Okay? Invest into things like this. Invest into your marketing campaign, your online marketing campaign, offline marketing campaign. Invest. For an example, I had another company, right? I don't really do too much on this channel, right? I have another channel for hair, right? I get asked a lot about hair, and people want me to do hair videos and different things like that. So I was on my Facebook, and I was telling my Facebook one time that it was a company that, this is Joe from Taiwan. I have a cleaning business. This is how I give. Okay. So it was a situation. There was this company that came through YouTube um, that wanted me to kind of promote their hair product for curly hair, right? It was target for curly hair. So I would have took the offer. I emailed them back. I would have took the offer, right? If they would have allowed me an opportunity to do private label, right? Where I can put my own name on it. I'll use their product, which is nothing different than what Kylie Jenner or 50 Cent or any of these guys do, right? When they get these alcohols and these brands and like Kylie lip kit, all Kylie, the lip kits was already made. It was already there. All she did is packaged it different, renamed it, called it whatever she called it, and she took that and started offering that through Spotify. I mean, not Spotify, Shopify. Shopify, Spotify. She started offering that through Shopify. And her business is completely running now, multi-million dollar, close to $1 billion business just running right now through Shopify. Her product is drop ship, right? It's manufactured already. It's already put together. She renamed it, retagged it, put her own spin on it, her own little package thing on it, right? And her product is drop shipped straight from the manufacturer. And all she does is just do the little lipstick videos and the little makeup tutorials and the videos on Instagram. And she sell her product. Majority of her product is sold through Instagram, through her followers. She knows she has a huge following. That's all she did. That's all she did. So when this company approached me about a hair product, I wanted to take the Kylie Jenner route. If they would have let me take the product, the for curly hair, the product, and let me repackage it, claim it as my own, I would have had my people set up some type of site for it, and I would have used the same Kylie Jenner approach. I would have used it on my Facebook and this and this and that. And I know I would have sold it because people always ask me all the time, Fabio, what do you use for your hair? What do you use for curly hair? I have curly hair. What do you use for curly? What do you use for your hair? So I know I would have sold a lot of product. But but they wasn't giving me that angle. Like I wasn't able to take their product, repackage it, call it what I wanted to call it, and put it up on like a Shopify type of situation platform, right? And then use social media to market this to other light curly headed type people like myself, right? So that deal didn't it didn't go anywhere, right? So again, guys, but I'm always open to ideas. I'm always open to ideas, right? So that's what I want to ingrain in you guys. That's what I want to ingrain in you guys. Like there's ideas that's going to come your way, right? But you have to know what idea to take, what not to take. Same thing with commercial cleaning. Why residential versus commercial? Why commercial versus residential? You have to know why you would take one or the other, right? And just because you take one don't mean you can't do both ultimately. It's just you want to start with one, make that profitable, as I did with commercial cleaning, right? And I just branched from commercial cleaning to transportation. So I made commercial cleaning profitable, and I made the transportation profitable. And as you guys just heard early on today, I flipped that company, right? The transportation, right? Again, guys, so like I said, I don't really know what else to tell you guys besides take action, believe in yourself, take more risk, get out there, stop giving up on yourself. You guys heard my story. I wanted to get my very first contract in the first 60 days, and I wound up getting it in the first 90 days. When the 60-day mark came around, hey, you veered off residential, commercial account, transition process, the net. Go back to that. Okay. Yeah, the reason what's his name or her name? The black cleaner. Black cleaner. The reason, like, people ask me, like, Fabio, if you had to do it again, where would you start? And I tell people, for the sake of the money, fast money, I would start with residential cleaning, right? Because I can do the cleaning today, and I can get paid today. Or I can do the cleaning today, get paid tomorrow, or depending on how many times out of the week, I can get paid Friday, right? I could collect everything at the end of the week, right? So you would get the money a lot faster. Now, with the commercial side, you have to clean in 30 to net 30. So you have to clean it, and then you bill for that 30 days. You get it at the top of the next month, right? So whatever you do this month, you bill it, submit your invoice at the end of this month, and then you get paid for, let's say, on the first of next month, right? So you got to wait that net 30, you got to wait that 30 days. Now I'm in a position now that I do, because I still have residential clients. Now I have more commercial, but I do have residential clients. But I have my commercials on a net 15 or a net 30. So that's a bi-weekly pay. That's a bi-weekly pay. A net 15 and a net 30. So some accounts, when I go in to give them my offer, do the walkthroughs, etc., I let them know, well, we bill on a net 15. And a lot of times they take it. Sometimes, they say, well, we handle our bills on a net 30 here. And, so I wouldn't turn it down. I wouldn't say, well, if you're not going to do net 15, then we can't do business together. I would still take it. But I try to get some accounts on a net 15 and some on a net 30, so I can have revenue coming in around the clock, like around the month, right? I don't always have to wait that 30 days in. But see, when you with the residential, you could clean today and get paid today, right? Or clean today, get paid tomorrow, however you guys set it up with your agreement. If you're cleaning multiple times, which most commercial cleaning accounts, depending on who you're cleaning for, right, the type of client, but most, it's like once a week, maybe twice a week cleaning, right? So the thing is, though, what I find with residential is they more prone to canceling service. right? Because maybe money is a factor, especially unless you got some rich type of people that you're cleaning for, right? They have you, you can, that's constant revenue that you could expect to get. They're not going to cancel. But sometimes you have people, you're cleaning their homes, cleaning their condos, cleaning their townhouses, whatever the case is, and you clean this week, and in your mind, you're like, okay, I can look forward to cleaning them next week. And then before next week, what would happen is they would cancel. They'll call you or send you an email, send you a text, and say, "We don't need service for next week. We'll call you when we need service, or can you guys come the following week? We're going to be out of town, or whatever the case is. No one is going to be home, or we just not going to need the cleaning next week." But in your head, you already fixed up that you're going to clean. You're looking forward to making this money. You're looking forward to this cleaning. So that's why I tell people that's in the residential side or residential, you want to make that up by having a significant client base, right? You want to have a significant. You don't want to have like two or three people, and you're solely looking to make this money with these particular people, and then somebody cancel on you, and then you take a hit, right? Because you were looking to make that money that particular week. You see what I'm saying? So you want to set yourself up where and most of your clients are going to come in word of mouth anyway, a lot of times word of mouth. And I got strategic ways that I market my residential side anyway. I only talk about that on the coaching. So if you want to know how I market that and pick up residential clients like crazy, then you have to get my coaching for that. But like I say, I have a significant base residential wise, so I don't worry about that at all. But for those that have maybe a few residential clients, they're more prone to like cancel service or put service on hold for whatever reason, and you would take a hit because if you're looking forward to making those cleans next week or whatever the case is, and then they call you Friday and tell you you don't have to report next week, then it's like a bummer. But when you have a bigger pie, right? You're not so bothered by it, but it doesn't feel so bad, right? Because you have these other clients that's gonna make up for that temporarily. So if I was starting over and money was a factor, then I would do residential, right? Because I could get the money instantly. If I was starting over and I could wait the net 30 or net 15 in, then obviously I would just do the commercial. Okay, I would do the commercial. So, but what I learned though was upselling. I was making even more money, and that's what a lot of you guys forget to do. A lot of you guys forget to upsell. So, well, what is the upsell? Upsell that means you offer one service, and like after so long of doing that, you upsell them an entirely different service. So, for an example, window cleaning. My company, we offer window cleaning. So we would do the commercial cleaning side of things. And then when we go to, let's say, do the invoice, we offer half off of, the first month window cleaning or the first window cleaning, whatever the case is, right? We give them some type of deal, some type of incentive to want to go ahead and get their windows cleaned. Which what we charge extra will be an additional to the actual commercial cleaning. Same thing for carpet cleaning. You might be cleaning the service 6 months in, seventh month on the invoice. I like to do it on the invoice, so you might hear me say a lot about using it on the invoice, right? I'll invoice them, right? Give them my invoice, and then give them an offer like at the bottom of the invoice for maybe carpet cleaning service, right? Or for my home clients, like if they got a roach problem, or if you notice they got roach, or you notice rodents droppings or something like that, which we don't do a lot of homes like that. But if you like notice some type of insect problem or like a roach problem or a rodent problem, that type of thing, well, my company, we don't do pest control or anything like that, or insect control, but we teamed up with the company that do. So what I can do is offer this service outsource it to another third party company that will go actually handle the service, I get a piece of the pie and I give them a great deal of the pie, right? Because they're doing the job. I just take a small fraction, right? Same thing with painting. When we're doing clean out services or apartment clean outs or whatever the case is, sometimes they ask you, hey, do you guys paint? Well, my company, we don't personally paint, but what I have done is teamed up with a painter company, right? Third party company. We already got them under contract. They just one of our vendors. So when we get a painting job, they're able to handle that job. They cut the check to me. We take out our part and we give that vendor what we owe them, right? Which is generally a significant amount, because if you pay a man good, they'll do great work and they'll continue to do work for you, do great work for you, right? So we use the same type of situation with the pest control company. We use the same type of situation with the painting company, right? So I'm able to offer painting service. I'm able to offer pest control services, different things like that, right? Because I have vendors that's able to handle this, right? And they already under contract. So I don't have to do a new contract every time we get a new job. They already under contract. They already know what the payout is going to be. Let's see. How much do you need to save before you make the right transition? It depends on you, Black Cleaner. I'm assuming you ask me how much you need to save in one niche market before you go over to another niche market. So if you're doing residential, you're asking me how much should you save in residential before you move over to doing commercial. It depends on you. Depend on your overhead. It depends on your bills. Like your bills and my bills would be different, right? I generally tell people to try to make 3 times what they currently making now. I mean, if you double it, that's cool, but I try to get people to triple it. So if you're doing, let's say you're bringing in $2,000 a month at your job, right? Let's say that's just after taxes, hypothetically. Then with your niche market, you would probably want to bring in like $6,000 a month, right? Now, if you're living off of $2,000 a month and you're just kind of barely making it or whatever the case is, then we know damn well with low overhead that you'll be able to live off of $6,000 a month. So when you get to $6,000 a month of monthly revenue, then you'll be able to move over to another niche market, right? Window cleaning, carpet cleaning, whatever the case is, because over here it's not that you're going to forget about this niche right here. It's just you're making a significant amount of money where you still have a profit, where you're still able to handle personal bills and business bills, taxes, etc., employees, whatever the case is, right? So all of that have to come out of that. You pay your vendors. I'm assuming your vendors upfront, or do you set up a net 30 for your vendors? No, my vendors, once the job is complete, so we have a pest control job. Once it's complete, they're done for however many days. So if they say, you know what, this is going to take us 2 days to do this, or whatever the case is, once their job is complete, the check is there. See, I have what I like to call cash on deck, right? So I don't necessarily have to wait for the client to cut the check to me to pay the vendor. I already have the money in the bank, so I can actually cut the check to them, and then when the client cut the check to me, I would just deposit the entire check in the bank, if that makes sense, right? So I don't have to wait till they pay me for me to pay the vendor. I have what I like to call cash on deck. So when their job is done, if it takes 1 day or 2 days, whatever the case is, I don't make them wait a net 30 for just a 1 or 2 day cleaning, right? I go ahead, when their job is done, I go ahead and cut that check, pay that check out, right? So that's how I do it. Now, if you don't have the cash on deck and you're looking for this, let's say this specialized check to come through, You can always have that set up different than your net 30 with the client. So if they have pest control, you have to let them know that those funds is due immediately, right? You let them know that that's because that's a specialty service, right? That's not something that you're gonna ongoing bill them for, right? Unless they're gonna ongoing have that as part of their service, right? Then you just bill them for it. But that'll be a side check. That'll be something different. That's a specialty service that you're gonna bill them for. So you don't necessarily have to tie that in with your net 30 check, if that makes sense. Okay. But once it's sweet once you have cash on deck, because you got cash on deck, you can cut the check. And then when they cut that check to you, all you have to do, you don't owe anybody. You've already paid it out. You just take it and you deposit it into the bank. What do you take as a percentage when you subcontract services out? It just depends on the service. I like to use the 70/30 stand though, where I take 30% and I give the contractor 70%. And that's why a lot of my contractors, they don't go anywhere. 70% is a significant amount. I don't like to do the half and half deal. A lot of people would probably prefer to say do that. I believe in, paying your vendors, paying your contractors more, and having them do a great job. Like if I could call them now and say, hey, I got this going, and they'll put you ahead of the schedule. Like they'll be there for you. You can depend on them. They're going to show up, and not only show up, but show out. They're going to do a great job, right? You're not going to get any complaints after their service is done or after their service is surrendered, right? And that's all you want, because see, like I say, a lot of times your client don't necessarily know that you outsource the service, right? So they might ask you, hey, do you guys do painting? And you might say, yeah. Well, your client think you're the one that's doing the painting. They don't necessarily know that you outsource the painting job to a third-party company. So that's just something that you have set up with a third-party company. Now you have to assume all responsibilities. So if they fuck up the paint job, then you have to assume the responsibility for that, right? Because this was a vendor of yours, right? I like that payout. Yeah. Yeah, the 70/30, I like to take the 30% deal, because I brought them the client. They're gonna get 70% of the revenue. I'll take a cool 30% for nothing, for just a referral. Essentially, that's all I did, was refer the painting service over, refer the pest control service over, the lawn care service. If I team up with the lawn care service, they get paid 70. They're already under contract with me. I don't have to keep doing a contract, right? They already under contract. They know what they're gonna get, right? They're gonna get the 70%. I take the 30 just for a referral. And all I did was kind of watch them work, and I take a cool 30%. Not to mention I'm steady billing this particular client month after month or week after week on a monthly reoccurring service, right? Or on a weekly service or bi-weekly service, or whatever the case is. And this works both ways for residential or commercial guys. So if you're cleaning a home and you notice they got a pest control and you team up with a pest control company, you can outsource that to a third-party company to have all of the chemicals and all of the whole shebang, right? And then they'll go ahead and get the job done, and you just make sure the check is there, okay? Are your commercial cleaning subcontractors also? Do they insure themselves? No, I have W-2 workers. I have actual employees. So my actual workers are W-2. But when I have specialty jobs or certain jobs is outsourced to a third-party company, then yes, that's subcontracted. Let's see. Let's see here. 12 watching, only 8 likes. You know how Five is about those likes, yeah. Do you provide pricing to those clients, or do you have this? I generally go ahead and make the. I generally go ahead and make the quote because everything is pre-arranged with me and the subcontractor, Leon. So, depending on the job, I go ahead and put the price in. Either they're gonna pay the service because again, I want to mark it up more because I want not only the contractor to get paid, but I want to get a nice little piece, nice little 30%. It's got to be worth my while. Otherwise, they can go with another company that do it. We can handle it, and sometimes that's the case. They don't always, go with my company in regards to, the other services, specialty services, things of that sort. They might go with a whole different painting company that they hire, right? So, but yeah, I put the numbers in. I give them the numbers. I quote the numbers, and I can run it by. I have a relationship with my vendor, so I can uh, run it by them a lot of times. Before I even put the numbers through, like before I even quote them how much extra it costs. You can call your vendor and kind of work it out with them if you want. Is a non-compete. No, your non-compete is generally for like your subcontractors that might be doing your actual cleaning or your workers. That's what your non-compete is for. Generally, I mean, if you want to put a non-compete on some vendors or something like that, you can. But my non-compete is generally for my W-2 workers. Like, or if you subcontracting to work out, you 1099 where you don't have W-2 workers, you can still put a non-compete on one of your 1099 subcontractors. Okay. Oh, I don't underbid. I don't underbid. I've yet had to Leon. I bet I've yet had to backtrack out of let's say a painting job or anything like that because I came in too low. But even if I did come low because I got cash on deck, I would just make up the cost for that, which mean I lost, right? I would have lost money. So I got to know what I'm doing before I do, which is why I don't rush to give them a quote. So it's not like they're gonna ask me for a quote now, and I'm gonna give them a quote right now. I'll get back with them on it. Like I say, you could, it's all up to you. You don't necessarily have to. Are you presented with subcontractors on the job after hours? Derek Clark say, are you present with the subcontractors on the job? Yep, yep. Number one, I want to make sure everything run good. I don't necessarily watch them per se, but I am there on the premise, generally speaking. Or one of my personnel is generally there with them. And for two things, like if I hire a specialty company, I kind of like to know how things is going, right? So if I never used a machine before, I can actually get hands-on training while they're there. I can watch what they do, how they do. You can ask certain questions, that type of thing, just out of being curious. And I've done that before. So, and I've actually learned a lot with a lot of these different machines because, these machines are steady building newer machines, different models. They got the trinkets on them, whatever the case is. Now, I might not own that particular machine, but I like to kind of learn as I go, right? Because this is something that they specialize in that I don't necessarily specialize in. So I'm generally there, or one of my personnel, one of my supervisors is there, kind of governing everything for a twofold reason. Like I say, number one, we could learn as we watch them do what they do, and then we can just make sure everything runs smoothly. Nothing get taken, nothing is tampered with, nothing is fucked up, essentially, right? So, yeah. Guys, have any more questions for me? I know this live was all over the place. It was just kind of more or less meant to be more of a motivation, but obviously, if you guys ask me these cleaning questions, I'm gonna get them. Can you speak on liability insurance and workman's comp? Most commercial accounts require that. What's the process? Good companies you use, good credentials for vendor packages. Okay, liability insurance, man, you can get that from any insurer. Like any place that sells insurance, like your Allstate, there's a lot of different insurance companies. I don't like to really plug any specific companies, right? And it varies in different areas, like rates. Like insurance rates in Michigan across the board, especially auto, but insurance rate in Michigan is through the roof. Like Michigan probably pay higher insurance across the board than any other state in the United States across the board. So, but you can go to any, you can contact any insurer, and kind of compare and contrast prices as far as workman's comp. Sometimes you can get that through your insurer, and sometimes you have to get that workman's comp. Like sometimes your insurer can help you get that. I'll put it that way. And then sometimes you have to get that from your city, right? Or you have to contact your state in many regards. So, can you talk about how much you pay your workers? It varies. It varies. Uh, as you guys know, I do work outside of the state of Michigan, right? So I'm in Ohio, I'm in Georgia, I'm in Michigan, Indiana, and Chicago. We have this big contract that link us to Chicago and Indiana, right? So I don't have a lot of accounts in those areas, but I do have several different accounts in those areas based on the one big account that I have out here that led us out there. Okay, so it varies. I do pay more than minimum wage. Okay, in each area, I do pay more than minimum wage. I generally pay more in a suburban area than I do the metropolitan city area. Okay, the metropolitan city area, the city, I find most cities don't like to pay too good, but suburban areas do pay quite a bit. So I can add maybe another dollar, dollar and a half, $2 on top of, let's say, minimum wage, um, to make that more attractive to anybody that would want to clean in that specific area, right? So it varies. I mean, when you first starting out, you might pay everybody the same thing, right? You might start them off with minimum wage, which I tend to do. Like I'll start them off because I don't know if they're gonna stay with me, right? I don't know. So the last thing I want to do is kind of start them off paying them great, and then they fuck me over, right? And then I paid out a lot of money and still got fucked over. So I would like to kind of step by step it, right? Let them know that there's room for growth. They can grow, they can expand, right, within my company. But I'll start them off for like 90-day probation at whatever the minimum wage state wage price is, and then I'll up it, after 90 days, right? It's depending on them, It could be $1, it could be $1.50, it could be 75 cents. It just depends, right? But to answer your question, I generally pay lesser in the city or metropolitan areas and pay more in the suburbs, because I find that the suburbs pay more. That's why I try to tell my people that's looking to acquire new contracts to try to look outside of the big city, like your Chicago or your Detroit, or your Atlanta, just the hub, the city of Atlanta. You want to kind of look on the outskirts, the more suburban areas, right? They're generally smaller to medium-sized accounts, and they generally pay more. At least I find it to be that way. Don't forget, guys. Hey, come on, guys. Let's get these likes up. What are you guys doing? Let's get these likes up now. Now, if you guys want me to go more, I'm trying to get these videos in, and I'm trying to, be more proactive and more active with you guys. I get the emails all the time. They say, "Hey, Fabio, what's going on? You haven't been live. Come on, guys. You guys, are you happy to see me on here, or you not?" Let me see. How many of your clients require workman's comp? Is there a specific account that types of... Okay, workman's comp is like... Workman's comp, generally speaking, my smaller to medium-sized accounts don't ask for insurance at all. Now, that don't mean that we shouldn't have it because they don't ask. But generally speaking, my smaller to medium-sized accounts, they don't even ask if we have insurance. So if they don't ask, I don't bring it up. But if they bring it up, we'd be more than happy to submit that to them because we do have it, right? So that's why I tell people, because a lot of times people say, "Fabio, I don't have the money to get insurance, so I'm going to have to put my cleaning business off. I don't have the money for workman's comp, so I'm going to have to put my cleaning business off," right? That's why I tell people to start the small to medium-sized accounts, because a lot of times they won't even ask you. Now, accounts like this, your bigger facilities, anywhere where it's a high traffic area, a nursing home, a school, a plant, an industrial building, a multi-level floor facility. These type of facilities ask you about workman's comp, general liability insurance, that type of thing. Now, I'm not saying a small account or a medium-sized account won't ask you, but a lot of times they don't ask you. At least that's been I'll put it this way, that's been that's what I've ran into, right? A lot of my smaller to medium-sized accounts don't even ask me, "Do you have general liability insurance or do you have workman's comp?" Right? I go in there, present myself, I'm professional, I stay on the topic. My objective, I should say, is to go in and do my walkthrough, get them a quote, get them on an agreement, start cleaning. And like I said, a lot of times it don't even come up. You'll be amazed at how many people don't ask you if you have insurance in a more smaller to medium-sized environment. You'll be amazed. So that's, even in the beginning, I worked in probably 9 months straight with no insurance. 9 months straight. I mean, I was getting quotes and stuff when I first started. I was getting quotes and trying to figure out who I wanted to go through. But I did 9 months straight with my smaller and medium-sized accounts, and I didn't have any insurance. And then eventually I invested and got insurance. And my first policy was real low back then. Like I had like a really low policy. It must have been like $40,000. Maybe it could have been between $30,000 and $40,000. Real low insurance policy. And I actually had a policy less than that at one point with a more smaller firm. So, but right now, they kind of push you to the $1 million mark. Get a $1 million policy, or at least $1 million policy. I try to tell people if you can get less, get less. The more insurance they sell, the more commission they make, the bigger the policy is for you. So, you guys have any more questions for me? Come on, guys, get these likes up. Get these likes up. Get these likes up. Let's get these likes. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate you guys. I really do. That's I'm trying to be more active here on this live. As you guys know, sometimes I got a $1 million policy for $780 a year. Yeah, it could be pricey, but at least you got it, right? So at least you got it. I tell people shop around. Kind of compare and contrast. Use negotiation tactics. The more that they sell you, the better commission for that particular representative that sold you the policy, the more he or she make, right? People don't know, but a lot of these insurance agencies and insurance agents that sell you the policy, a lot of them make $100,000 a year, believe it or not. At least. A lot of them make, if you do like your research on these insurance agencies and what type of commissions they bring in annually, a lot of them bring in a 6-figure salary. You guys have any more questions for me? Like I said, guys, at the end of the day, what I want you guys to do ultimately, which was the main focus for this video, to believe in yourself and take action. To believe in yourself and take action. And I know it sounds easy said than done, but you absolutely have to. It's paramount that you have to. The reason some of my people are getting contracts and some of my people aren't getting contracts in terms of my subscribers is because I got a set list of subscribers, and I actually talk to them regularly. Like, I actually talk to some of my subscribers regularly. Like, it's almost like we're family. They can call me, I can call them. They can shoot me an idea. They could text me. They have a bump in the road. I can kind of help them through. That's because I know that they're serious. I know that they're active. I know that they're really, really doing the business. And then I have a select few of subscribers that's not doing anything. They watch me here on live, and then by the time they get off live, they don't do anything with the information. They just dreaming of having a commercial cleaning company. They're dreaming of having a commercial. And the thing is, Christmas time, we're going to creep around again. It's going to be 2020. And the next thing you know, they're still going to be dreaming. They're still going to be dreaming. They're still going to be dreaming. Making excuses. I don't have enough money. My girlfriend left me. My boyfriend left me. The kids done ran off on a plug twice. Like, they're going to be full of excuses. Go ahead with your question. They're going to be full of excuses. The thing is, guys, like I say, you have to be willing to take a risk. You have to be willing to believe in yourself. The only person that can ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. I say that generally after every video, but it's true. That's the only person that can ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. But you got to be willing to do something different. You got to be bold. You have to be creative. And you have to be able to leave certain individuals alone. You have to be able to leave those individuals alone that's not in your best interest. You guys have any more questions for me? For those that need to email me, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. All right, I have an extremely busy schedule and don't have the time to clean myself. I completed all the paperwork for my LLC, got everything taken care of on the legal side of things. I, however, hit a bump, and I guess you're gonna say a bump in the road. What's your bump, dude? Those who should support me says that it's stupid to start a business when I can't clean. My plan was to subcontract. I'm here to tell you, dude. The same type of individual said the same thing to me. And here my business do north of $250,000 annually. From Michigan to the south, to Georgia, and in between, Ohio. People said it was stupid for me to clean toilets. People told me that it was stupid for me to do this or stupid for me to do that. I own my mother's. Yeah. People told me it was stupid for me to do the same thing. The thing is, whether you have a W-2 or whether you subcontract the work out, just get started. Get started, get your feet wet. Subcontract the work out. Don't worry about what the naysayers got to say, because those are the same people that's going to ask you a year, 2 years from now, are you doing any hiring? When your lifestyle is changing up, when you're moving different, when your mindset is different, when you're acting different, when you're associating with different type of individuals. People are going to say you changed, you switched up. You're not loyal. You don't love them. You never did love them. How are you going to let me fail? But you're the same individual that said that I wouldn't amount to anything. You're the same individual that say I was stupid for even starting a commercial cleaning business. See, so people are fickle. You damn if you do, you damn if you don't. So you might as well do. If they're going to hate on you, they're going to hate on you either way. If you do something and become successful, you're going to get the hate for that. If you don't do anything and don't be successful, they're going to hate you for that. They're going to find a way to hate on you. So you're going to be hated either way. So you might as well win and get hated on. Anticipate it, because it's coming. Every successful person to a certain level, to a certain degree, get hated on. People don't believe in them. People talk about them. People throw shade. People try to spill their tea, whatever the case is. Who cares? As long as you know you're doing your absolute best and you're doing what you need to do to become successful, who cares what the next person say? Who cares what the next person think? So that's my word to you, dude. Like, don't worry about what your naysayer is saying. Don't worry about, I don't care who it is. It could be your mom, your dad, your family, your brother, your sister. I don't care who it is. Your girlfriend. I don't care. Do not worry about what they're talking about. Keep your head on a swivel, walk light, stay focused, and make shit happen. You're going to show them with results in the long run. You're going to show them with the results, because right now they think you're full of shit. They don't believe you, right? And that's fine. But when those checks start coming in, when you start driving different, moving different, acting different, associating with other people that you didn't know before them, but now that you got, better acquainted with now you switched. Now you switched. They ask you, can you help me pay my Metro bill? You tell them no. Hey, I'm short on my car. No. You tell them no. You're gonna become everything to everybody. Trust me, man. Trust me when I tell you this. People are gonna come to you. They're gonna want to know if you know a good lawyer. They're gonna want to know if you know a good doctor. If you know a good dentist. If you know a good such and such. If you can refer them to a such and such. They're going to feel like you got all of the answers. Do you hire family? No, I don't hire family. I don't hire family because family get too relaxed. Family have a personal relationship with you. So what tends to happen, at least with my family, there's not other families. Other families might be different. But with my family, it'll be like, oh, that's my cousin. Oh, that's my uncle. Oh, that's my whatever. So I don't hire family because they get too relaxed and then they'll do shitty work and just play with their money and see how they react. Play with their money and see how they react. They didn't gave you shitty service, but they still want top dollar. Right? Because again, they don't you have that personal relationship with them. So they don't deem you to be serious. They don't take you serious. They're only working with you to get some money, to get a check. Thanks, Jessica and Fab. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, like Jessica, like I love her story, you know. That's why I keep referring back to it, because Jessica, she really got it out the dirt. Like she really, really got it out the dirt. You talking about somebody that didn't believe at first. You talking about somebody that struggled at first. You talking about somebody that was on the bus, that didn't have a car, that had to walk, that had to go through trial and error. And now she's switched all of that around. She has a car now. She has people working for her. She has contracts now. She's slowly and methodically building. But it's a lot better than where she was. I don't give a shit if she's only up $2,000. I remember when she didn't have that type of income coming through. So it's not about necessarily, as long as she's able to sustain herself, take care of her family, take care of her personal business, take care of her business. At the end of the day, she's able to sustain, and she's going to continue to grow as long as she stay proactive with it. It's not about how quickly you grow. It's the fact that she's growing. She took something that she wasn't sure about in the beginning, and I'm just using her as an example because she's on this live and I know she's really doing it. She took something that she wasn't too sure about, guys, in the very, very beginning. Trust me, I know this. I know this. Trust me, she was going through this. She was going through it. Like, she didn't have the belief system. Her mind was all over the place. She was watching the same type of lives you guys were watching. I was giving her the same type of motivation that I'm giving you guys now. But she could have did one or two things. She could have just continued to watch my lives and say, yeah, he sounds great. He sounds great. And did nothing with the information. Or she could have did something with the information. So she chose to do something with the information, and therefore she has a nice little business under herself. And she's steady growing, I'm sure. So again, guys, you have to, it's not about how much she's making a month. That doesn't even matter. Let's just put it this way. She's doing better than what she was. So it's a step, she's progressing. That's all that matters right now. Not exactly what her monthly billing is, what her dollar amount is. It doesn't matter. Because I remember when she didn't have that. Like she was really trying to get it off the ground, really trying to get it going. And now she has it going. She has a vehicle now. She was on the bus. So for people to ask me about the bus and the email, man, I'm really, my pride, man, I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to have to wait till I get a car, man, or I'm going to have to go to the auction, try to get me a car, man, because it's going to be embarrassing. How I'm going to call myself a cleaner and I'm on the bus? You make a way. You make a way. You find a way to do it. You find a way to do it. Jessica did. So you mean to tell me Jessica is better than you? No, Jessica has the same 24 hours in a day that you have. It's how you use your 24 hours. It's your mental, your mindset, your state of mind. Sometimes we can be our own handicap. It's up to you guys. Don't believe me? Ask Jess. She's on here. She's on this live. So, that's kind of what it come down to, guys. That's what it come down to. And I like stories like Jessica. I got 1,000,001 of those in my email. We print them off. I got them in a big folder from last year, this year. People, new subscribers, people that don't even necessarily comment on the lives. They send me an email, man. When you said that, that was powerful, man. That stuck to me. Do you still clean, or are you managing now? I'm like the coach. I'm more of a motivator now to my employees. I'm more of a motivator to my employees now. I don't have to sling them up. If they're doing something wrong, I can kind of show them the proper way to do it, the right way to do it. But training is big. We still have training class within my company. Every so often we meet and make sure the training is tight. That's generally on the weekend, where it's mandatory for them to come to a training, just to make sure. I like to sit down with them. We get in a conference room setting. We watch the DVDs, the training DVDs that I have, that's still relevant to this day. And then I just like to bounce ideas, on the whiteboard, ideas. They give me a few pointers because, once again, they're in the field, they're in the buildings. So I like to get feedback from them because a lot of times I'm not in the facility with them. So what can we do better? What would they suggest? This is the way I do things in my business, okay? I'm not saying you guys have to do this, but this is the way I do things because I like to get the feedback from them. They're the ones that actually clean. They would know, right? You guys have any more questions? Come on, get your questions out, guys. You guys got any more questions? Again, if you need to email me, if you want coaching, paperwork, lead generation, any of those things, I will work a deal out for the most serious one. 6 months, 8 accounts without touching the door. There is a way. Okay. Nathan, 6 months, 8 accounts without touching the door. There's a way. That's right. And I try to tell people, Nathan, I like that. I like that, Nathan, because you see what I'm saying? They could just go to show you, guys, that you can do this and actually have employees or subcontractor people that's really doing the work. Nathan say he's 8 accounts in 6 months. He doesn't touch a door. So he must have reliable people. That's working for him, that he's training good. It's a way to do it, guys. It's a way to do it, but it's going to come across in the training. You got to train them well. So many people I talk to, they say, Fabio, man, I hired this one person. They just stopped showing up and this and this and this. I don't know why, but you got to get a feel for them at the interview, at the interview side of things, right? You can't just, again, and that's why I tell people, always be hiring. Always be hiring. Always be accepting applications. People ask you, are you hiring? Yes. How can I apply? Give them your business card and then meet up with them later for them to apply. accept their applications, or you can tell them, yes, we're always accepting applications. Like, they fill out the application, they fill out an application, you file the application until you have an account, right? Then you call some of the individuals back that you got applications from, give them a quick interview, right? Get a feel for their personality, get a feel for what motivate them, why they want to work for you. These are some of the questions you want to ask. And boom. So again, that's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes, guys. You guys have any more questions? Again, if you need to email me, you need coaching, you need paperwork, you need lead generation, book FabioHart@gmail.com, book FabioHart@gmail.com. Again, I don't talk on the phone for free no more. I don't do any free helping people with the free quotes anymore. You have to buy something, because I just get swamped for a lot of the free stuff. And what happens is I help people get into a contract, for free. I don't take anything on the back end, or whatever the case, on the front end for that matter. And then every time they get a new contract, they come back to me because I help them get into one contract. So they'll get a new potential situation, and then they'll come back to me, with the notion of me helping them get into their second deal or the third deal, whatever the case is. Okay, so I won't charge you to help you with these things, but if you buy like a coaching or paperwork or lead generation, anything of the sort, then that's your way in. I will always help you from there, just because you're investing into that. So that's the way I'm doing it now. So if you guys have any questions, that's why I ask you on the videos, so you can get them off. If not, you can email them. You'll deal with my assistant Jasmine. She'll be able to answer your questions. But again, it's entirely up to you guys. If your business win, lose, or draw, it's entirely up to you guys. Where you put your money ultimately dictate what you get out. Invest in self-development. I'm really big on self-development, because that help with the motivational psyche part of things, right? Keeping you motivated to want to get up and do it. You're welcome, Nate. You're welcome. Can I call you Nate? You're welcome. I greatly appreciate you guys, man. I really like you guys here. I'm really hard on you guys, probably more than any other channel that you guys probably be subscribed to, because I really want to see you guys win. I know the potential is there. The thing is that a lot of people just don't believe in themselves. They don't, and they feel like because they haven't gotten a contract yet, that this business is not for them. So they give up. Go ahead and get those likes up, guys. Get those likes up. 12 likes? What the hell? Let's go ahead and get these. Now, if you guys want me to stop doing videos, just let me know. If you want me to stop doing videos and you want me to kind of disappear, just let me know. I'm thinking that's what you guys want. Let's get these likes up, guys. Get these likes up. If you haven't liked, go ahead and like right now. Right now. Show me some love. You guys rock with me or no? You don't rock with me? Show me some love. Get those likes up. People ask me about my Facebook. I got my Facebook deactivated right now, but I have 5,000 people, so I'm at the Facebook max. If you want me to request you on Facebook, want somebody unfriend me, then go ahead and email me. Email me at bookfabiohart, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Put in the subject line Facebook and leave me your Facebook name. Okay, leave me your Facebook name, and I will personally have my assistant go and request you guys as people unfriend me. I do get unfriended. So, and just for the record, once you unfriend me on Facebook, don't ever try to come back, because I won't accept you back once you unfriend me on Facebook. I tell people that all the time. When they unfriend me on Facebook, I never let them back on my page. How hard is running a company from another state? It's not as hard. It's not as hard. It can be hard. Hot. Let me see. What is it? Hot dog. Hot dog. It could be hard, but when you have great people in place and you follow up, whether you go to those states and you check on your accounts and check on business, or whether you make the phone calls, it's really not that difficult. It's just more difficult trying to manage your managers, right? Trying to make sure everybody else is doing what they're supposed to do while you're not there. But for me, it's more of a system, like McDonald's or Taco Bell, whatever the case. It's more like a system. Everything run like clockwork. But I stay checking on those accounts and contracts, even behind my supervisor's back. Like I could call a supervisor now and say, "Hey, how's everything going out there? How's everything in the section? How's everything?" And they could tell me, "Oh, everything is great, Fabio. Everything's running smoothly. Everything is great." Well, I'm not gonna take their word at face value. So what I started doing is calling the actual clients, like personally, or having my assistant Jasmine or some personnel of mine call my clients to make sure that essentially what my supervisors are saying, everything correlate, making sure everything is parallel, right? Everything is the same. So if my supervisors say everything is great in Georgia, great in Atlanta, whatever the case is, it's great in Toledo, it's great, everything is great, then I'm going to call the people in Atlanta and call the people in Toledo just to make sure everything is fine, everything is what they said it is, right? And then if we have some problems going on, we can go ahead and address it head on at that point. So if they have an issue, instead of me jumping down my supervisor's back and say, "Hey, you didn't tell me this," and it's because sometimes you might have a problem in this, and this happens a lot, guys. You can have a problem with an account, and it could just build up, build up, build up, and they not say anything, and then the next thing you know, they fire you. But they didn't even tell you about this. That's why I say the follow-up is important. Not only the follow-up to get the contract, but once you get the contract, the follow-up, I would tell people to follow up at least, it's 4 quarters in a year, to follow up once a quarter. Because you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to keep calling them every single week or because then they get to making up shit and say, "Oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. He's not doing this. He was late yesterday, this and this," and they get to making up shit. So once every quarter, you want to kind of follow up. I think that's a fair assessment. It's 4 quarters in a year. You contact them once a quarter just to make sure that they're happy, make sure everything is running smoothly, and that's that. And if anything happened between then they would contact you via email, phone, or whatever the case is, if that's the case. But you got to have an open door policy. You got to have great training in place. You come up with your own. You come up with your own system. It don't necessarily have to be like JamPro, right? I mean, you want to come up with a certified system first. You want to get that in place first before you even think about franchising it out, right? Because once it's proven and it's running, if it's running like clockwork without you necessarily being a part of it, in terms of you having to work in the business and you having to do certain things, once you got it up to a systematic way where it runs itself without you necessarily have to partake in it every day, then I would seem to think that you have a proven system in place. Okay. Then from there, once you have a proven system, all you have to do is just build up the contracts. At that point, everything else is going to run the same. You just have to build up the contracts, build up the revenue. No problem, hot dog. Not a problem at all. Good luck with that too. Hopefully, it definitely work out for you. You guys have any more questions for me? Let me ask a question, guys. How many of you feel like I go live too much? Should I revert back to just doing the regular videos without going live? Or do you guys actually like the live better? Let me ask you guys. I got 10 people on right now. I want at least 10 answers. I want at least 10 people answering this. Should I do stay going live, or should I do just regular video? Just say live or say video. Just just say that on the comment section. Say live or the video. Okay. Live are helpful, even helpful, just two people. Okay. Live, live. Okay, live. Keisha say live. Okay. Live. Anybody suggest that I do just the videos? Live. Okay. Extreme clean, live. Okay. So everybody would agree that the lives are lives more effective, guys? Is it more effective, you think? Because sometimes I think, it goes 2 hours and this and this and that. And I think when people play it back, they're not going to necessarily watch me talk for 2 hours, right? They're going to kind of pick and choose. Or maybe do both of them. Okay, that's a great assessment. Yeah, better interact time. Okay. Okay, Keisha say you do both. Okay. Okay. Sometimes it's nice to hear you talk without the questions. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good deal. So should I do more lives than videos, or should I do more videos than lives? What you guys think? Should I do more lives than videos, or should I do more videos than lives? That's if I'm gonna mix them. If I'm gonna do, that's a hard question. That's a hard question. Okay, I was just kind of wondering, guys, because like I say, sometimes I think that maybe I use your 70-30 rule. Okay, okay, but which way? Oh, 70% live. Okay, okay, the lives. Let me see. A month of lives and a month of videos. Okay. Do videos, then follow up with lives to answer any questions we might. Okay, that's a great assessment. I like that. Kind of like both. Okay. 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 So let me ask you guys, how many people actually use the information in my lives and use the information in my videos and actually build their business? Like, how many people are actually using what I talk about or what we talk about and really start building their business? How many people got traction? Just put me on the comments. Just put me. Let me see how many people actually use what I talk about. And if you don't use, if it's not working for you, put a question mark. If it's not working for you, if you're having trouble, put a question mark. I want to see who's winning with the information that I provide and who's having trouble with the information that I provide. Okay? So if you're winning with the information that I provide, put me. If you're having trouble with the information that I provide, put a question mark. Let me see where we're at with it. Let me see where we're at with it. Living witness, me. Okay. I tried to use it, but the Canadian market is rough. Oh, okay. You from Canada? What part of Canada are you from? Canadian market. Fab, can you start doing random picks? Maybe for your listeners. A free 15 combo, especially for the ones that like and share your videos. Can I do a free 15-minute session? You know what? I actually have a lot of times people ask me about the kit that I use. How many people are aware of the kit that I used when I first started out? The Your Clean Future System course. When I bought the course out, right? When I bought the course out from the maker of it, I sold all of the courses and I kept my original copy, and I have 2 additional copies that I never sold that I wanted to keep for myself. I actually thought about offering that course, the same course that I used, to one of my subscribers. I thought about doing like a little giveaway. You give me maybe a 15-second video, short video sharing with me why it should be you that I give this course away to. I'm still thinking on it. Because I thought about selling it, because it's a rare. You're not gonna find it on Amazon. You're not gonna find it on eBay. None. Trust me, I didn't look, because I would have tried to buy it back and buy the information back, but it's not up there. No one is selling it, right? So I thought about trying to sell it, and I also thought about giving it away as a giveaway approach. With the same course that I used to kick my business off in 2012. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But I'll keep that in mind. Your information is great. I just haven't got started. Keisha, why haven't you got started yet, Keish? Keish. Key, do you love me? And beside me. Key, what's going on, Key? Keish. Why haven't you got started, Kiki? Can I call you Kiki? She's probably like, you don't know me that good. Why haven't you got started? Please do a giveaway. I'm thinking about it. Guys. I promise. I'm thinking about it. What's keeping you from getting started, Key? Let's address this right now, because I promise you, Key, that it's probably somebody that's on this live. The same thing that's keeping you from getting started is probably what's keeping a lot of other people. I've been procrastinating. Why? Why, Key? Why you been procrastinating? Do you believe you can't do it, so you just kind of procrastinate? Is it the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, the fear of success? Why do you think you've been procrastinating? And don't be ashamed. No one on here know you personally. Just, I like this engaging because we can help each other out. And it might be one thing that you say that might be able to trigger to help somebody else. I have a lot of loans to pay. Okay. Now, I understand that, right? You want to get them paid off. You want to get loans. But here's the thing. This has always been my idea. Okay. Key, when you make a payment on your loan, let me ask you this, Key. I believe I can do it. I actually go up to be on other people, but I just can't seem to get started. Okay, Key, let me ask you this. Okay, is it the loans that's holding you back? Do you think it's the loans? Is it the loans that's holding you back? Or is that the excuse that you're giving yourself to stay held back? Which one is it? The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Yep. Key, I think we're on to a breakthrough. Watch this. I think we're on to a breakthrough. Key, I said, is it the loans that's holding you back, or is that the excuse that you're giving yourself that's holding you back? Is it the loan itself, or is that just that's the excuse that you're giving yourself to procrastinate, to hold you back? It's the excuse. Okay, okay. So now we know that that's the excuse. Key, what's more important to you, failing or succeeding? What's more important to you right now? Failing or succeeding? What's more important to you right now, Key? Failing or succeeding? So in other words, do you not start because you're scared that you're going to fail? Or do you not start because you're scared you might succeed? What's more important to you right now? Failing or succeeding? Failing or succeeding? What's more important to you, Key? You don't have any support. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you. Key. Are you currently working now? Are you currently working? You don't have to say where. Just are you currently working? You have two jobs. Okay, great. Key, if you went to both of your jobs tomorrow and they gave you a pink slip, yellow slip, white slip, and they both fired you tomorrow for whatever reason, they sold the business, going out of business, no longer need your position, whatever the case is, how would that make you feel? If they hand you the pink slip, the yellow slip, whatever slip, and told you we don't need you no more, how would that make you feel at that point? What do you think? What do you think you'll feel like? How would that make you feel? It'll make you mad. Okay. Now, Key, do you know that that's possible at any given time that that can happen? Do you know that that's possible? Yes or no? Do you know that that's possible that that can happen to you at any given time? Yes. Okay. You do know that that's possible. Okay. Now we're not trying to burn no bad bread here, but since we know that that's possible, and you have the opportunity right now to start your business while you have a little income coming in, whether with your two jobs, why not take a little income from these jobs, a little by little, and start your cleaning business? Let me ask you this. Have you even registered your DBA? Have you got a LLC or a sole proprietor or partnership uh, uh, license for your business registry? Have you even registered your DBA? Yes, you have the LLC. Okay, that's good. Do you have a business checking? Do you have a business checking? Great. That's good. Do you have a EIN or a federal tax ID number? Great. That's good. Okay. Do you have any insurance? You can be honest. Do you have any insurance? No. Okay. That's not a problem. You can work towards that. You have everything else. Okay. So what's stopping you from getting your very first contract? What do you think it is? What do you like what's stopping you from going door to door? What's stopping you from picking up the phones? What's stopping you from sending letters out yourself? Okay. Now, Keish, what we got to do is get from out of our own way. Right now, you're the only reason that you're not being as successful as you could possibly be in the commercial cleaning business. Right? You're the only reason that you're not successful. And since we know that, we have to identify what's stopping you from going out there to get business, because it's something that's stopping you from going out there to get new clients or to attract business. Now, only you may really know that, but I'm here to tell you, because you got your LLC, you got your federal tax ID number, you got a business checking account, you're on the right path. Do you know that you're only little centimeters away from getting your very first new contract? There's somebody in your section right now, or your city right now, that's waiting for you to walk in, and you just haven't walked into their facility yet. They're waiting for you to call them so they can set up a time and a date for you to come in and do a walkthrough, but you just haven't called them yet. And every single day and every single minute that you let go by, there's a new cleaning company getting started up in your area every single day. And you're allowing that space for those new cleaner startups to take what is rightfully yours. That's kind of like taking food off your table, Keish. That's kind of like taking food off your table. Okay? So, what do you do in your downtime? When you're not working, I'm not sure if you have kids or what have you, but what do you do in your downtime? What do you do in your downtime? Do you hang with your girlfriends? Do you hang with your boyfriend? Do you go out to the bar? No kids? Great, great. I mean, not saying that that's a bad thing, but at least that free up time for you, right? So you don't have any kids. So you really watch YouTube. So you watch YouTube. Guess what? I'm right with you. I watch YouTube too. I'm real big. But when I'm not watching YouTube, I'm being proactive, right? I'm being proactive. YouTube can be very addicting, right? Because there's a lot of different things I like to watch on YouTube, right? Not just business. I like to watch the Animal Planet channel, right? I'm real big on that. I like to watch motivational videos. I really don't watch anything pertaining to cleaning, like no cleaning videos. I don't watch my own videos, nothing like that. I watch other entertaining different situations, but there's a difference between letting YouTube consume you and spending too much time on YouTube and not executing. Me too. YouTube is addictive. Yeah, YouTube is addictive, right? I love YouTube, but I don't let it consume me, right? When I'm not on YouTube, I'm executing. So I would advise you to do the same. At some point, you have to pull away from YouTube. You have to pull away from Facebook, right? You have to pull away from Instagram, because these are things that won't put money in your bank account, right? These are things that won't pay your bill next month. And we just said that at any given time, you could be let go, right? Now, we don't wish that upon you, obviously. We don't want that to happen. But if it did happen, we want to put you in a better position where you can say, you know what? Man, I didn't see that coming, but I'm glad I had this situated. I'm glad I had this situated. Even if you don't invest in your cleaning business, Keish, what I would suggest you do is find out about some different investments, right? You could talk to your bank and ask your bank some of the type of different investments that they would suggest you to kind of go in that would yield, not like a bond investment. A bond isn't going to pay you, what you will want, right? So you want to kind of talk to your banker, ask them what type of investment opportunities would they suggest. You don't necessarily have to go into them right away, but at least you will know about them. Okay? What I want you to do, Keish, email me your name, your number, and I'm going to call you personally. Keish, here's what I'm going to do. Okay? I've never done this before, but I feel like I can break through with you. I'm going to give you 1 free hour of coaching. You're not going to have to pay for it. Now, my coaching is $300 per hour. It's a $300 per hour value. When this live ends, between today and tomorrow, when this live ends, I want you to email me your name, your full name, your telephone number, put coaching in the headline, and I'm going to give you 1 free hour of coaching. Totally free. Okay? Totally free. Now, I'm going to give you between now, what's today? I'm going to give you, today is the 26th, Tuesday. I'm going to give you between now and Friday to get all the questions written down, because the way I like to do it is I like to answer your questions first, and then I like to go into the training part. The actual coaching part of it, right? I like to answer whatever your questions first, your immediate questions, whatever your concerns are. I want to answer those first so you can get those answers out the way, and then I go into the actual coaching part of it. Okay? Now, I want you to email me right away. The sooner the better. But I'm giving you until Friday to get your questions together, so it won't be a rush, so you don't have to feel like you got to hurry up and think and rush on your questions, right? And then Friday or Saturday, we can actually do the coaching. Is that fair? You let me know in the email what day work better for you, Friday or Saturday. We can do the coaching Friday or Saturday, but you have up to Friday to get those questions available. Okay, get those questions ready. Okay, or up to Saturday. So if Saturday is better for you. Okay, so what we do, Saturday, the 30th, that's this coming Saturday. Make a note, Saturday the 30th, I'm going to give you 1 free hour of coaching. Answer all your questions. Now, between now and Saturday, get your questions ready for me now. Get your questions ready for me. Write them down. You don't have to do them all tonight or whatever the case is. You got between now and then. and I'm going to answer your questions, your immediate questions, and then I'm going to go into the coaching. This is a $300 value now. This is what I typically would charge $300 per hour for. And trust me, I get it because it's impactful. And if you don't get off that coaching call and take your business to the next level, then I know you don't want this as bad as you want to breathe. If you get off the phone with me and you do absolutely nothing with that information, I know that this is not, you're going to be a loser. It's not going to work for you ever, never, because the information that I'm going to impute in you, you have no way to go besides up. I'm going to give you some valuable information for free that's not on my YouTube. I got over 400 YouTube videos, and it's certain information that I keep only for the coaching. Okay, that I keep only for the coaching. And I'm going to give it to you for free. I'm going to give it to you for free. So I want you to, again, you're going to email me your first and last name. You're going to email me your telephone number. Put coaching in the subject line, and put Saturday just as a reminder so I don't forget, right? I'm going to have Jasmine put it all into perspective. And on the 30th of this month, which is this Saturday, we're going to get you on that coaching call. We're going to work the time out with you and my assistant. I'm going to let Jasmine go back and forth with you and pick the best time for you. But just make sure you email me your name and your telephone number. Put Saturday in the email. Just put, I want coaching Saturday, or however you want to word it. Put coaching in the subject line, and I'm going to give you 1 free hour of coaching. It's going to be the best hour on the phone you ever had in your life. Trust me. I promise you. Okay? Do any of you guys have any more questions? Any of you guys have any more questions? By the way, Keisha, my email is bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART@gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. All one word. BOOKFABIOHART@gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Okay, you're going to email me the information that I asked. We're going to follow up with you and get you set up. Okay? All right. Any more questions, guys, before I let you go? Okay, I think that's about it. Everybody is probably a little sleepy, a little tired. That's going to do it for now, okay? The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. You guys take care. Talk to you soon. Keisha, email me right away.